Welcome back to another episode, everybody. Today we're going to work on the push mower I talked about. HIPA sent me a control cable and some spark plugs. Well, actually, HIPA sent me a whole box of stuff. I'll have to show you that. I can't use all of it at one time, but it's good to have spares, so that's what's up. Yeah, so let me get you turned around, and I'll show you what we got working on here. Okay, we're turned around here, and this is a YardForce. I have never even heard one of these, but it's just basically, you know, an offshoot of MTD. This has a Briggs & Stratton 4.5 horse on it, so nothing fancy there. The reason this came in is it was having a problem with the control cable. When you pull it in, that releases this brake right here. There's a pad right here, right there. So when you pull in your lever, this cable that runs up to the handle here, that releases this brake and then allows you to rotate your engine. Yeah. So HIPA had actually sent me out a control cable. I will show you that, although unfortunately it did not work. Whether it be they accidentally sent me the wrong one or I measured wrong. I don't think I measured wrong. I measured the length of that cable that's on there now. So I'll show you the part number anyways. I think this cable fits not 21-inch mowers like this one, but I think it fits the smaller size. So there's a part number. Maybe if you have a smaller push mower and you need a control cable, there's HIPA's part number, and I'll throw it you know, down below in the description for HIPA. Thank you, HIPA. I will contact you about this cable, whether I need to ship it back to you or just hang it on the wall for another machine. Thank you for that. And then HIPA sent me out, I mentioned that I needed some spark plugs. So HIPA sent me out, you know, they're in and out of stock of some of their stuff on site. So what they did was they sent me this kit right here. And what this is it comes with 2 plugs and an air filter. And this kit is actually for V-twin generators. But it runs the same plugs as the Briggs small engine. So they sent me, literally guys, a box of 20 of these kits that come with 2 plugs and an air filter. So I'm gonna have plugs and generator air filters for like ever now. But these plugs, even though they're HIPA's, are the same as the Briggs & Stratton style. So we will use one of these when we put this machine back together. Okay, so there's the stuff that HIPA sent me. And we'll get back to this. So we are going to, I already fixed the control cable since the one HIPA sent me didn't work. I've got that working now, so that problem's fixed. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the oil, we're gonna sharpen the blade, we're gonna clean the carb, and we're gonna install a new plug and a new air filter. So I think first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna get you set up on the tripod now. And I'm going to get this oil draining, and then I'll show you how to take the blade off, and then I'm going to sharpen that, and then we'll go from there. So I'll see you in just a second, okay? Okay, we're back. So this is how I drain the oil on push mowers. I literally just tip them over and let them drain into a container. So we're going to let that drain, and we're going to come over here to this other side. Okay, I'm going to set you down. Sorry this is fumbly, but you know, mechanic work is never easy, guys. Okay, so there's our blade. Now, for whatever reason, this machine uses not 11/16. It would not fit. It's a 17 millimeter here. I don't know why that is, but so we've got an electric impact here. That's my favorite. We're just gonna zip this bad dog out, just like that. Oh, we still need more. Okay. so now we've got our blade off, and it's not in horrible shape. I think it'll do fine. I'm going to, you know, we could replace it pretty cheap, but I'm just going to hit it on the bench grinder and sharpen up the edges. And, you know what? I think I'll even set you up and show you how to do that. I'll see you in just a second. Okay, guys, we're here at my bench grinder. This is going to get a little loud, so I can try to tune the volume down in the edit, or just turn your volume down a little bit. So I'm going to fire this up, and then I will show you how I do this. It's really simple. So this is our cutting edge right here. I'm going to hit the back side of that and the front side of that, and basically just get the spots where it's rounded and chipped to be sharp again. Now I will say, disclaimer, this won't be hardened anymore. Generally when they make these blades, they put the edge on them and then they heat treat them so that way the edge doesn't wear down, you know, with just a few nicks. But it, you know, in the name of saving money and getting this done quicker, giving them a quick sharpen is generally fine, at least for a season. Then you can sharpen it again or get a new blade then. But I figured I'd show you guys how to do this, you know, for more content. And not show you just how to bolt on new parts, you know? Okay, so I'm going to hit this and then I'll show you. See, if you can see the glimmer coming off of that, then now I've got a nice sharp edge on there on the back side. Now I'm going to go back to the front side, or actual cutting edge, and I'm going to bevel that in some more. So I just kind of pick an angle like this and then hit it. Razor sharp, I could cut, you know, a piece of paper with it right here, but down here where it was the worst, we still got some round, not much. So I'm gonna hit down here some more. I mean, you can feel that edge on your thumb. I could take this out and I could chop a piece of wood with it. I think it'll cut grass. So now I got one more spot to do. That's good and sharp. I even went a little bit too much of the blue right there, but that's all right. Like I said, we're trying to cut grass, not trying to chop down wood. Even though I could use this as a hatchet right now, it is very sharp. Okay, I'm gonna get this slab back on the machine, the reverse process of what you saw me do. And once the oil's draining, I'll get you set back up over the machine, and we're gonna pull the carb off and give it a clean. I'll see you in a second. Okay guys, we're back here over top of the engine on the push mower here. Another note too, real quick. Whenever you have your blades off, clean the grass out from your deck. A little tip for you guys is wet grass rots out your mower deck. So, you know, it's good maintenance for your machine as being the owner of the machine to make sure you clean the grass out from underneath your deck every now and then, or else you will rot it out. Every customer that brings me a mower, whenever I sharpen blades, I clean grass out of decks. So, yeah, little tip for you. Anyways, so I've got a clamp on the fuel line. Not that I think there's much in there, but that'll keep anything from spilling out. So I'm going to get that disconnected from the carburetor right here and then slid right off because it just sits on these posts. So I'll reach in here. There's a clamp down in here. I'll slide that back. Now I'm going to work that off from the nipple on the carburetor. Maybe. Maybe. Jeez. Okay. So I've got to spin it. There it goes. Sometimes if you get a hose that's stuck on a barb, guys, it won't just pull off. You got to give it a little spin sometimes. It really doesn't like me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it off from here and give myself some more room, I think. And I'm going to get really aggressive with it. I'm going to hold down right here. And I'm going to fucking... There we go. Okay. Fuel tank off. Set that out of the way. Alright. So now we have 3 bolts right here. They'll hold this together. Let me grab my ratchet. Yeah, I should run prepared. Crap, sorry guys. So we got one that's a 5/16, or well, I'm using an 8. These ones are going to be more like a quarter, it looks like. Or they might be a 9/32. American either way. It's the weirdest thing. They love to mix the Americans and the old metrics on us. Okay, there's one out. When you're not prepared for your job. And you're like, let's just turn the camera on and do it. Alright, 7 mil fit that. I don't think it's actually a 7 mil, but I'm not going to complain. Okay. Oh, there's the other 8. Couldn't see it all blended in with the crap. There should be. Okay, there's our air cleaner cover with our primer bulb, our PCV vent. Okay, I can just set those up on the bench. Out the way. Alright, and that is literally all that holds these style carbs on there. There's no ring back here, and this thing just sits on here, so watch this. Boom, just like that. That's all that holds them on there. Oop, don't lose the O-ring. So this goes in there to help this one seal. So this goes back on there. Oh, that feels like water in the carb. There is gas, I can smell it, but it feels cold like water. Okay, and then you slip that off of that control rod, and there we go. There's our carb. I've done a couple of these on this channel. Well, anyways, I'll get you swapped up to the bench here, and we'll go through this guy. Okay, guys, we're here with the carb. I've got my favorite assortment of tools. I got some torch tip cleaners, some off the internet carb cleaners, a good pick, and my air nozzle for my compressed air, and some carb cleaner. So first thing I'm going to do is I will hit this thing with some carb cleaner, kind of out of the camera's way. Get some of the gunk off it, and then I'm going to air it. Now that the carb cleaner kind of broken up some of the stuff, it's not perfect. I'm going to take the compressed air and blow it off. Okay, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, let's see, I got more stuff right there. Let me go empty this in the bin. So, looks like somebody's been in here already. Possibly. Well, maybe not. Just how they painted it. It's weird when they do that. Now it wants to run again. Okay. So all we gotta do is open up these two screws here, and they should be the 8mm we got here. Nope, they're the 7. Or, well, they're American. So they're not actually metric, but we're going to clean that off too, because it is pretty bad. Ooh, yeah, look at that mess I made all over the bench. Oh well, it's okay. Okay, so there's our bowl. I'm gonna go ahead and empty this again now this apart. Okay. So right off the rip, the bowl doesn't look too bad. I don't see a lot of sediment, so I think we're gonna be okay there. So now let's pop the float up. On these ones, it literally just, the pin is just press fit, so you just kind of pull up like that. And your needle comes out with that. And that's it. That's literally all you can take apart on these. You can't, all you can do is just kind of clean them. So we'll go through one of these small guys here and do my normal, where I like to just go through all the passages. Make sure everything is clear. Down in here, make sure that's clear. We can't go through this one, it's too small, so we'll just use the compressed air. I like to come through these ports up here. Make sure everything's good there. There's one right here. Go through there. There's not much to these carbs. So next I will blow through the passages with compressed air. Okay, it's pretty good. I mean, like I've said, there's not much to these style carburetors. I'm gonna blow this off while I'm at it. It's not great, it needs some more love. And you can see the condition of the air filter. Yeah, okay. Okay, back to the task at hand. So let's pull up our needle here, and let's just go ahead and make sure our fingers are clean. We're gonna go and inspect the rubber tip. It looks fine. I don't see any crazy indentations in it where it would be leaking fuel. So I'm going to lose our pin. Okay, I'm gonna get our pin back on here. And now I'm gonna get our float put back together. So our float needle goes into that slot right there. And now I'm gonna go back down in. No, I'm gonna drop the float. Okay, clean your float again. Oh well, crap happens. This is real life, guys. I drop stuff all the time. Okay. Butterfingers. Just want to make sure there's no dirt on that when you get it back in there. It'll be okay. This isn't a, heart transplant. Okay. So now we guide that back down in there. Okay. Now we guide the pin into its little press down spots, and boom. Now this is doing float stuff. Now we can put our bowl back on. That's simple. So this little spot is going to kind of line up with this. So just like that. Now she's down. Okay. Remember, tight is tight. Too tight is busted. Oh, look at that, I'm wearing my new work shirt. Good. All right. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now that guy's ready to go back on. I'm going to clean up this air cleaner a little bit, and then I'll get you swapped back over. We're going to get this put back on. We'll get a new air filter in. I had to purchase this in town. Unfortunately, HIPA didn't have the one for this machine. I couldn't find it on their site. Or maybe it was out of stock. I don't remember. But so I've got one of those. And then just in case the HIPA plug was different, I picked up an RC12 just in case. But we're going to try to use the HIPA. Okay, I'll see you in a second. Okay guys, we're back here, and I've got our parts. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our control rod back in the throttle. Just like that. And now we're going to sneak this guy back down in here. Just like that. And now guide it down onto those O-rings. Just like that. There we go. Okay. Now we can take our cleaned up air box, and it's going to go this way. We're going to slip that into the PCV. Okay. And then it sits on there just like that. And then our bigger ones went on the outside. So those hold the airbox lid to the steel bracket. Okay, and then the smaller ones hold the carburetor to the airbox, which in turn holds the whole thing down. So I'm actually going to tighten up the carburetor ones first. That way that's got a good mating surface, and then we'll tighten down these ones. Okay. All right. Next, I'm going to grab the air filter. And we're going to sneak that guy in just like that. Oh, brand new and clean. And then this guy, these tabs here, rock down into there, and then this clips on there. So just like that. Boom, new air cleaner. Okay. Alright. Well, let me get you lower down. We'll throw a new plug in. That's down here. Let me just lower the legs down for you real quick. Here's our, where are you at? Here's our original RC12Y. And then we have HIPA's plug here. See, HIPA. This is a BKR5CV. I know I've showed this in other videos before, but you want to get these lined up just about like this. And then you just look for any length differences. What you'd be worried about is if this plug is going to hit the piston. I don't think there's an issue with the heat range, just because the numbers are different. I think that's okay. If not, if it runs like crap, then we'll put a champion back in it. So it looks the same to me. We're going to throw it in. These are 5/8. The hole is right here. Get that threaded in. Then I've got a 5/8 plug socket here. It's a big long extendo flexi one. Okay, so now we got a new plug in. Carb is cleaned, air cleaner's in. Let me get you reset up. I'm going to get this tip back down. We'll get some oil in it. We'll get some, oh, you know what? We got to put the gas tank back on. Let's do that. Where are you at? All right. You're right there. Okay. Okay, so here's our tank back. Got all the bad gas out of there. So I can actually take this clamp off now. Boom. Okay, now I'm going to sneak that onto the nipple. And then I'm going to reach in there with some pliers and get that clamp back on there. Just like that. And now this sneaks down, and these little notches here sneak into this. So you gotta go down. Oh, see, I messed up a step here. You guys seeing that? So this has got to come back off. Sometimes I just don't think. It's alright. There we go. See, now that goes back down in there like that. And now this goes back on. Just like that. Okay. Alright. Now we can, let's tip this bad dog up. Let's keep the video rolling. Get that old oil out the way. Ooh, now we're tip back over. I will show you how to get the recoil back on, actually. Let's do that next. So that's this guy right here. And it literally just sits on top. Just like that. And then I got 3 bolts here. They're kind of long and shaped special. Okay, and those are the 8 or 5/16, whatever you want to use. They both fit. Okay, very good, there we have it. So we got everything done we need to other than fluids, so I'm going to go ahead and just shut the camera off for now. I'm going to top this bad dog up with some oil, put some fresh fuel in it, and then we'll get it outside and see how she does. See you in a second. Okay guys, we're here with the lawnmower. I've got some fresh oil in it, fresh fuel in it. I'm going to prime it here a couple times, and then we'll pull on it and see what happens. Okay, let's try that. Okay, control cable in. Now we pull. There she goes. Okay, let's see if it'll restart now. That little bit of oil coming out from it being tipped up and down and whatnot, that's perfectly normal, guys. Okay, well there you have it, guys. We fixed her up. She's running again. Now that I know it runs good, I'm going to give it a bath and kind of clean it all up, and I'll hit the plastics with some WD-40 and make them shine again, and yeah, let the customer know it's ready to come pick up, go on home, and cut some grass. Alright, I'll be right back in a second. Alright guys, well there you have it. I got her all washed up. You know, it ain't perfect. It's for mowing the lawn. You know, the first time it gets used, it's going to be nasty anyways, but I hit the plastics with some WD and a rag, and that kind of softens them up, blackens them up, and also gives them a little bit of water repellent. Yeah. So she's ready to go. I appreciate you guys for watching, and shout out to HIPA. Thank you for sponsoring today's episode, and I really appreciate your support. I'm really liking your products, so thank you. Thank you. And to all the watchers who, you know, sit through these videos that take forever, you know, I know repair videos aren't quick ones, but it is what it is. Thank you for watching. And to all my subscribers, thank you for subbing. If you guys like the content, hit the thumbs up. All the links for HIPA's products will be down in the description, and if you need parts for small engines, chainsaws, weed whips, generators, you know, you've heard me ramble it before, they probably got you covered. And if not, reach out to them. They might be, you know, they might have something that's on their site. I've reached out to them even though it says out of stock on their site, and they've hooked me up. So yeah, I guess I'll quit rambling now. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya.